Everybody, and welcome to All Red TV. And I've got, is he an imposter? Is he somebody I know very well? It's my mate, Deck. He's back. He's
How
not,
are we, people? How are we?
he's not been away with Her Majesty for any reason. He's just been busy with work and
I promise.
doing his own stuff on Cop TV with somebody called AGT, whoever she is, and then a woman called Merio. But I've also got the original Viking, my brother from another mother, the Norwegian Red Already. How you doing, mate? Good evening.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for having me. And I'm doing all right.
That's very good. And you, Deck, you're looking all right, mate. Even though we've not spoken for a while.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I've just like you said, been working, guys. Yeah, trying to get as much content out as I can, as well as being a dad to two kids, and then working full-time job as well. So it's just all about that work-life balance, I suppose, isn't it?
It is, but end of the day, priorities come first, don't they? So
that's it, mate. That's it.
This evening we are gonna I'm gonna get the guys' reaction to this morning's Champions League draw on how they feel we will go on, Liverpool, considering that we have to go back to Turkey and face Galatasaray again. And I'm going to get the guys to give me the predictions on each game and who they think will go through, and who eventually end up lifting what we call old big ears. So
can I just say something there when it comes to the draw in general?
You can.
And I mean, the old format, you had the group stages, you had 1 and 2, some blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of always kind of balanced it out when it came to the sides. They have one side and now, we got screwed when we won the group stage last year. We got on the difficult side, and if you look at this year's side,
here we go.
Yeah, you have on the Paris Saint-Germain side, you have PSG champions won it, Chelsea won it, Liverpool won it, Real Madrid won it, City won it, and Bayern Munich have won it.
Yeah.
On the other bloody freaking side, you have one team that's won it, and that's Barcelona.
Barcelona, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, so how uneven is it possible to make it? The new format doesn't work.
If you look at the title of the stream, it says, "Is this the most uneven balanced Champions League draw ever?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
I think
it's
it is.
Stupid.
And the thing is as well, which you didn't mention there, if you are of a blue persuasion from Manchester City have drawn Real Madrid for the 5th year in a row, and the 6th time in 7 years. So you must, and we were saying, I saw it online. Liverpool fans were saying, I don't want to face another team from Madrid. Well, our City fans feeling knowing that they're going to be going to the Bernabeu again.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how they can make it so uneven again. I mean, it was unbalanced last year as well. But now it's just worse. I mean, yeah, we'll come to the predictions later. But when you have Champions League winners on almost every team on the one side, and you have one on the other.
Okay, so I'm going to start with you, Deck, here first. Squeeze my question to you, Deck. Then, do you think overall this season, the Champions League, it's been a good competition, or do you feel it's getting weaker? The standard's not as good as it should be for the name of the competition.
Well, I mean, personally, I think from a Liverpool perspective, we've been a lot better in Europe than we have in the Premier League and other competitions this season. I don't necessarily think it's been weaker. I think you've got to look at the teams like Bodo Glimt. They've done an absolute masterclass over Inter Milan, and they're into the round of 16 for the first time in their club's history. But I do agree with what Aaron's saying in regards to when it was the old format. Obviously this new sort of format's been in now for a couple of years. when it was the old format and you had the group stages and then round of 16 and stuff like that, it did sort of balance it out a little bit better. For me, I think, look, it is the luck of the draw with the Champions League. To go and win the Champions League, you've got to be the best team in Europe, and you've got to go and play the best teams in Europe. If you weren't coming up against the likes of a Paris Saint-Germain, a Real Madrid, a Manchester City, let's say an Arsenal in recent years, they've been playing great football. Then there'd be no point being in that competition. But potentially there may be a side where you could look at a Craig where, like you said, you've got opposition teams in teams in there like a Spurs, for example, where they've been absolutely awful in the league,
Yeah.
but somehow they're into the round of 16 of the Champions League. So I feel like it's pros and cons. It's a bit of a catch-22 when it comes down to the Champions League, and whether that's down to the new format or not, or whether that's down to just how the competition is these days, we don't know. We're not UEFA at the end of the day.
What's your thoughts on it, Alred?
Well, I think the new format kind of is a good thing for the less good teams like Spurs and Bodø Glimt and so on. If you're lucky with the draws, who you face at home and who you face away, you can get through to the group stages if you're lucky. Of course, you have to be good, but if you're a little bit lucky. The seeding was a little bit more difficult earlier. You had one dominant team in each group, and you had one that was pretty much certain to get the second place. Now, I also think I kind of agree with Deck. I don't think necessarily is the format when it comes to if you're going to judge how the Champions League has been this year, because a lot of the so-called big teams are struggling now. They have generational, they are rebuilding teams. Real Madrid, the same. Barcelona has been shaky. Both those two teams have been through financial hardship and other hardships as well. So that there are teams that are weakened that we usually see dominate in this competition. So I think that is the reason it also kind of looks weaker than normal. But yeah, I'm not sure the format now as of today is the right way to go. It needs to be balanced more. It needs better seeding, better system, better control, or better whatever to look at it. Because when we get draws like this with the Champions League winners on just one side, except one, I mean, Dex says you have to beat the best team. Yeah, but there is a difference between beating the best team every game you play in the Champions League or just once in the Champions League. There is a toll. I mean, if Liverpool should go through the final, we have to beat Galatasaray, and then we have to meet City or Bayern Munich.
Paris Saint-Germain as well.
Exactly, and Paris Saint-Germain. Those are more. Those games take a lot of more out of you, except instead of playing Bodø Glimt or Sporting. I mean, so that's the issue here as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think what surprised me as well this year in the Champions League, and obviously we've had the draw for the last 16 this morning. What's actually surprised me is that we've only got one Italian team in the last 16, which is Atalanta. I'm surprised that Napoli went out early. I was really surprised that Galatasaray turned Juventus over in Turin. I didn't expect the old lady to go out on their own ground because it's always difficult to go there. But that's a big surprise for me. I think the surprise package in the competition this year, and they have to. I think they deserve everything they get now. Is obviously the team from Norway, Bodø Glimt.
Yeah.
And if you're a football fan of any persuasion, doesn't matter who it is, I don't think any team would fancy the chances against these guys now, because if you can go to Inter Milan and win, you can go anywhere and win.
That's it, Craig, and obviously that's another Italian team, like you mentioned, getting turned over.
Yeah.
There are two things I want to say to that, although. First thing is we have to remember Bodø Glimt is off season. they're not 2/3 into the season. They're not, you know,
similar to the MLS. Sorry, Alred, when they're not
Yeah.
the same as the English European seasons.
Exactly. I mean, the season in Norway starts in 2 or 3 weeks. We're doing friendlies now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Norwegian teams usually haven't done well, because we do well until Christmas, then we don't have anything until, you know, the quarterfinals or the last 16. So going to Milan and winning there off season, that is outstanding. I think they could have beaten them in August, but beating them in February, that's a whole different level. So that's the first thing I want to say, and I tip my hat off for them. It's not my team, but well done for them. And the other thing is, when it comes to the Italian teams, are we seeing a decline in English in Italian football because of all the Premier League rejects getting there?
Well,
I mean,
the thing is, when you say Premier League rejects, I mean,
straight away, Scott McTominay comes to my mind. I think he's had a great change of career since he left Man United.
Well, I was going to give you another one as well, and he left United and went to the same club, Haaland. Right?
Yeah,
these two guys won the league with Napoli last year.
But that's my point. It's not that. I mean, if you're not good enough to play in the Premier League, whether you're Scott McTominay or Chris Smalling or whoever you are, you could be a Liverpool player for all I care. But if you're not good enough to play here and you succeed in a lower league, if you understand, even though it's top 5, the quality. I mean, if you take a step down, the quality is not as good.
Well, I mean, I don't subscribe to the theory that the Premier League's the best in the world, because if you look, I mean,
you can look at the last 16 round in Champions League. So,
the amount of football I watch is stupid. But when you look at Premier League games in general, and you look at how much football is actually played compared to the ball going out to play, and how long it takes somebody to take a throw in or take a corner, and give you another example, which is annoying me at the minute. From a corner, as an example, the goalkeeper can't move because it's like the Royal Rumble in the penalty box.
Yeah.
So when's that going to be stopped?
Yeah.
That's got to be.
But this is nothing new. Although this is what Italians did in the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah, but this is killing the Premier League.
Yeah, but the point is, in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, Italian football was one of the best in Europe.
Yeah,
and they had time wasting as well. If you played Italy or an Italian team and you got one down, the ball was never in play. So that's nothing new, but it didn't mean the league was poor. So time wasting.
I'm just going to give you a little plug. So to anybody who's never seen us before, and you've never seen Deck or Alred before, what I would like you to do is to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and the notification bell, so you don't miss anything what these two guys are going to be talking about in the future and present. And also, have a look at the final whistle. Some great content on there, especially in the garden. You can't beat it. Right? And if you like ice hockey or anything like that, I'll go on TikTok and have a look at the Norwegian Reds profile, because it's well worth a watch. Right?
And if you're going to see any,
these two guys know the stuff, but on different subjects, right? I'm sort of, I don't know.
Craig, you know, you're the happy medium. You just cover all bases. Like you said, the amount of football that you watch is stupid. So you know.
Well, I've got to do something to keep the grey matter turning over, and So hang on, we've got some.
I'll put him on.
Here.
Good evening, sir. Good evening. Welcome.
Hello, Ben.
Good at rubber.
Right. We need to be more clear with the times. I'm still used to 8 PMs.
You okay, Ben? How you doing, mate? You all right? Okay, Ben, we're just going to do. I'm going to do a quick recap for you, mate. We've been talking about the Champions League and how the draw came out. We've not discussed the draw yet, and we've also been talking about how the Champions League, how it's sort of not as strong as it should be compared to previous seasons. And we've also just touched on the Premier League, on it not being the greatest league in the world because of the rejects what are leaving England. They're going to playing on the continent, and Deck named two in Scott McTominay and Mr. Hoyland, who are both at Napoli, and they ended up winning the Serie A last season. And I just said the biggest disappointment in the Champions League for me this year was that there's only one Italian team in the last 16. So just going off what I've just said there, Ben, what are your thoughts on it at the moment, and how do you feel that the Champions League could be improved in a format kind of way?
I don't think there's much room for improvement. The only thing maybe I'd do is bring back the old draw system instead of having the draw done all in one today, like it was today, and saying last year. Bring back the old draws, so you run 16 opponents will get drawn, then your quarterfinal opponent will get drawn after the quarterfinals, or after round 16, and then the path gets kind of decided from there instead of from here. That's the only thing I'd do. I like the format as it is. My only complaint with this draw is, I mean, you've probably seen it, every single Champions League winner from the last 10 years is on our side of the bracket.
That's what we just, that's what Harold was talking about. This is why we think it's a. Would you agree, Ben, that this is the most uneven, balanced Champions League draw we've ever seen?
It's got to be a contender, isn't it? So, I mean, you've got what, like 30 odd Champions Leagues on our side, and then you've got what, 5 on that side.
Yeah, and that being Barcelona on its own.
Yeah, I think Barcelona's the only team that's won a UCL.
Yeah,
they're the only, and on that side, they're the only team in the last 20 years that's reached the final.
Okay, Ben.
The only team, period.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben. Also, Ben, what I mean, I don't know if you saw it on the chat earlier on. What I asked the lads to do was predict who you would have going through from the last 16 through to the quarters, the semis, the final, and who your winner would be. So to give you time to do what you need to do, I'm going to start off with the Viking in the top right-hand corner. Okay, so what I'm going to do, what I'll do, Ben, is I'll read the fixtures out, because obviously Deck can jump, obviously let me know what he thinks as well. So basically, the draw came out, and the quarter-final draw was, basically, it was simply this: Manchester City versus Real Madrid. Already, who's going through?
Real.
Okay. Sporting Lisbon versus Bodo Glimt.
I'm going to say Bodo Glimt.
Okay. Chelsea versus Paris Saint-Germain.
PSG.
Okay. Barcelona versus Newcastle.
Barcelona.
Okay. Liverpool versus Galatasaray.
Liverpool.
Okay. Tottenham Hotspur versus Atletico Madrid.
Atletico.
Okay. Bayern Munich versus Atalanta.
Bayern Munich.
And last but not least, title favourites and Champions League favourites. Arsenal versus Bayer Leverkusen.
Arsenal.
Do
Okay.
you want me to go next? Yeah. Okay.
Deck.
Do you mind reading them back, Craig? Sorry, mate.
I'll read them back to you. Not a problem. Okay. Manchester City, Real Madrid.
Manchester City.
Don't forget, it's all the 2 legs, both games.
Yeah, I don't think Real Madrid have got the minerals. I don't think they have. I think Real Madrid have been rocky this season. I think Man City, Real Madrid's a good draw. If anything, this year it's going to be fairer, more fair than ever, really, because Real Madrid are obviously the most successful European team in the world. Champions League winning team in the world. So I just think Man City. I think Real Madrid don't have the minerals over 2 legs. They go to the Etihad, and I think Guardiola knows his stuff. So Man City.
Okay, so you got City. You got City in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
Sporting Club Portugal versus Bodo Glimt.
Bodo Glimt.
Okay. Chelsea versus Paris Saint-Germain.
Paris Saint-Germain.
Barcelona versus Newcastle.
That's. Do you know what? I just got a feeling Newcastle might turn them over, but Barcelona have got the knowledge and the experience, so I think it might get to Newcastle. So for me, I'll say Barca.
Okay. Liverpool Galatasaray.
Liverpool.
Okay. Tottenham Hotspur versus Atletico Madrid.
Atletico Madrid.
Okay. Bayern Munich versus Atalanta.
I'd love to see Atalanta just do well, but I think Bayern Munich are gonna turn them over.
And last but not least, Arsenal versus Bayer Leverkusen.
Do you know? I don't want it. I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this. I would love Bayer Leverkusen to just knock them out because I just can't stand the fan base and the football club. I'm sorry, guys, but I just think Arsenal will see past Leverkusen. But I'd love out of all that, I would just love Arsenal just to go crashing out of this competition. I really would, because if they don't win the excuse me, if they don't win the league, they want to win the Champions League, don't they? So
Right, okay, Ben. I'll come to you now before I give you mine. Okay, Ben. So back to the top: Manchester City, Real Madrid.
City.
Okay. Sporting Club Portugal versus Bodo Glimt.
Bodo Baggins.
Okay. Chelsea versus Paris Saint-Germain.
Chelsea.
Okay. Barcelona versus Newcastle.
I agree with Declan. The fact that Newcastle could definitely get at Barca, that high line. But he also made another good point, which kind of counteracts it. Barcelona have the experience, and they do have the best player in the world in Lamine Yamal. So I'm going to go with Barca.
Okay. Liverpool Galatasaray.
Liverpool.
Okay. Tottenham Hotspur versus Atletico Madrid.
Atletico.
Okay. Bayern München versus Atalanta.
Bayern.
Okay. And Arsenal versus Bayer Leverkusen.
Arsenal.
Okay. So I hope you've made a note of who you've put through and who's playing now.
yeah,
But I just want to say before you say yours, Aldo.
Yes.
I mean, the good thing is that Deck and Ben are adamant when it comes to Barcelona, and they say they're going to win due to the experience.
Yes.
But they overlook the experience when it comes to the Real Madrid and City game.
no, but I just think Real Madrid haven't got it this season. I don't think.
How many seasons have we said that?
Every time they've played Liverpool, Harold.
My point is
the difference in experience between Newcastle and Barca is a lot different to the difference in experience between City and Madrid. City have won.
Yeah,
it.
but
this is Newcastle's first appearance in the knockouts ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But City only have Haaland. Take him out. But
and Doku and Semenyo and Marmoush, and Madrid have Trent. So that's 10 versus 11.
And Haaland. Sorry, let's not forget about him.
Your turn, Aldo. Sorry, just asking you a question.
So I've done my predictions, and I've done so basically going through to the quarterfinals from each of the games. I've got Man City going through against Real Madrid. I've got Bodo Glimt going through against Sporting Club Portugal. I've got PSG beating Chelsea over 2 legs. I've got Barcelona beating Newcastle. I've got Galatasaray beating Liverpool.
Oh,
over 2 legs.
No.
You heard it here, folks. The next time he calls me the voice of treason, take a look at that bald fellow over there.
Yeah,
This is beyond treasonous at this point.
no,
Hey,
I mean,
no,
said,
no. These glasses are not rose tinted. Let me look at it that way.
no,
they're not,
mate,
Wearing glasses on here.
they're not
your
working.
channel's called All Red TV. Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
yeah. No. I'm just calling it from what I've seen this season of us. Right?
You're a swine, Craig. You're a swine.
I've got Galatasaray going through. I've got Atletico Madrid beating Spurs, Bayern Munich beating Atalanta, and Arsenal beating Bayer Leverkusen. Now, before you go any further, I'll give you my quarter-final lineup is as follows: PSG versus Galatasaray, Manchester City versus Bayern Munich, Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid, Bodo Glimt versus Arsenal. Right? Now, my semi-finals are as follows: PSG versus Manchester City and Barcelona versus Arsenal. My final is PSG versus Barcelona, and the winners are PSG retaining the European Cup. That's my route to Budapest 2026. Liverpool are not going to beat Galatasaray, as I've said. And if they did beat Galatasaray, and I hope I'm wrong and they do, they're not going to go any further, because there's nowhere we are beating Manchester City, Real Madrid, or Bayern Munich.
And the next team we would play. Sorry, Craig. I don't mean to interrupt you. I'll let you finish. Then I'll say my. If you want to ask me my.
What's the final lineup?
So you make a good point. If Liverpool were to go and beat Galatasaray, which unfortunately it's 3-1 here, mate. So we're gonna go with that. They're gonna win Galatasaray, and we're gonna win, and we're gonna go through. But you make a great point, Craig, where if we do go through and we do beat Galatasaray, and a Man City beats a Real Madrid, for example, and a Bayern Munich beats an Atalanta, say Man City play Bayern Munich, I think it would be, we're forgetting that it's going to be either a Chelsea or a Paris Saint-Germain. And if we do somehow beat Galatasaray, which I hope we will do, we then have to go and play PSG, because I think overall most people would expect Paris Saint-Germain to get through that fixture against Chelsea. It's a replay of the Club World Cup final. Obviously, Chelsea beat PSG, and I think PSG will want to sort of prove that they are the better football club overall. So if we do beat Galatasaray, we've then got to get past the Paris Saint-Germain. So that would be Liverpool, PSG in the quarter, and then let's say Bayern Munich, Manchester City. Let's just say Bayern Munich then beat Manchester City, which I think they would do if that was going to be the fixture, and then we somehow then beat PSG. We would then have to play either a Man City or a Bayern Munich, just to then get to a final against the likes of an Arsenal or a Barcelona or an Atleti. Because let's be honest, Bodo Glimt, Sporting, Spurs, and who's the other club on that side? I can't remember now, but Leverkusen. So, you know, it'd be either like a Barca, an Atleti, or an Arsenal. So we even if we do, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. If we do get past, you know, Galatasaray, we get past the PSG, we then somehow beat a Man City or a Bayern Munich, we're then going to have to play either an Arsenal or a Barcelona, etc. if we get to the final. So it goes back to what I was saying before, where the Champions League is, you want to be the best team in Europe, if not the best team in world football, and you have to play these big clubs. There's no other way to look at it. And we can sit here now and we can say our predictions and we can get a little bit worried, a bit nervous, as you do as a football fan. But I think this is what the Champions League's about. And if the players don't step up for big games like this, then they're never going to do it. And as a Liverpool fan and a Liverpool supporter, then you haven't got the minerals to be a player for my football club. If you're not stepping up in the likes of a game in the Champions League quarterfinals against a Paris Saint-Germain, a semi-final against a Bayern Munich or a Manchester City, if we make it to a final against an Arsenal or Barcelona, you have to step up, and that's what the Champions League is all about. Okay,
so what's your quarter-final lineup?
I think it's Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain.
Okay. The simple reason that I don't think we will beat Galatasaray is simply this: every game we play, We're carrying 2 passengers. We're playing with 9 men every game. That's Cody Gakpo and Mo Salah.
Great point. I seen that the other day. Great point.
That's why we're not going to beat Galatasaray. But Ben, what's your quarter-final lineup?
Chelsea vs Liverpool.
Oh, so you having Chelsea beat Paris Saint-Germain, Ben? Yeah.
Is Luis Garcia playing for us again then?
Yeah. Can't be much worse than Gakpo, can he?
Hey, I don't know if video cut inside. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got Liverpool versus Chelsea. A bit of heritage, a bit of Champions League heritage.
Yeah.
I've got Liverpool winning that. I don't back Rosinha. You talk about Liverpool not having the minerals. Rosinha's literally Mr. Nice Guy. He has not got the minerals. He will not be able to go to Anfield on a European night. If Chelsea still had Maresca, I'd back them as favourites to go all the way.
Ben, let me ask you this: if it was PSG, do you think we'd go through as well?
No.
I'd have more confidence again. I back Liverpool to beat anyone. I don't care who it is. At the end of the day, Liverpool have done the impossible before. We'll do it again. I know Craig has seen it all, so he has his right to be negative or doom and gloom.
Negative? Hang on. Ernie Slot will be shitting himself if he gets me again.
You're the one talking about Galatasaray like it's prime Barcelona. Like, Turkish teams haven't won. Only one Turkish team has won away, and that was a game against a complacent Nottingham Forest who was focusing on a relegation game on the weekend. Let's be serious. Let's be serious here.
Well,
okay. So Liverpool, Chelsea, Ben.
Liverpool, Chelsea. Then I've got City, Bayern.
Yeah.
Bayern will win that. Barca versus Atleti. I think Barca will win that. And then Bodo versus Arsenal. I'm going to go with Bodo Glimt.
Oh.
Yeah.
To Harold's despair. I know he doesn't want that.
Well, I've said all along, Arsenal are not winning anything this season.
No, I think they'll win the Carabao Cup, to be fair to them. Yeah. And it's a Bodo versus Arsenal.
Who's your semi-final pairings?
Well, then semi-finals. Liverpool, Bayern, and Bodo Barca.
What's in your Pepsi Max there, mate? What are you?
That's also my question.
What?
Okay,
Arnold's dying to get it. Arnold's dying to say his video.
Okay.
Then getting to the final. Craig, you ain't gonna like this because I've got us to beat Bayern Munich, and I've got Barca to beat Bodo Glimt, and then I've got Liverpool beating Barcelona in the final.
I mean, we need to do some drug tests when we have guests on here, because what Ben is, I mean, come on, I mean, this is yeah.
Okay,
anyway,
give us your quarter-final lineup then.
Anyway, now
back down to earth, Harold. Back down to
earth.
Give us your lineup for the quarter.
What's the reason? Liverpool is going to play PSG in the quarterfinal. Now, for some stupid reason, if it goes like the young hooded hoodlum here says that Chelsea beats PSG, I think we can beat Chelsea better than PSG. But we are in the quarterfinal against PSG, and I still think it's going to be Real Madrid against Bayern in the other one, in the quarterfinal. When it comes to that Donald Duck side, it's going to be Barcelona against Atletico, and it's going to be Arsenal against Bodo Glimt. And if Arsenal, being on that Donald Duck side where there's no issues, if they don't get to a final this year, I mean, I know they're going to play Barcelona in the semifinals, and that's the only football team they're going to have to try against on that side. But if they don't get to the final, I'm going to mock them more than ever. But my semi-final on that side is Barcelona against Arsenal, and I think Arsenal's going to win it. I also hate to say it, but I'm trying to be neutral and look at what we've seen so far this year. On our side, we are going to lose against Paris Saint-Germain, and I think Bayern is going to beat Real Madrid or even City.
Okay,
And that means in the final from our side, I think it's going to be Bayern Munich.
so who's your eventual winners?
As long as it's not Arsenal, I don't care. So it's either Bayern, Real Madrid, or City. I don't care.
See, so we've got a mixed bag there all the way through, which is really interesting. I mean, yes, I've put the cat amongst the pigeons, saying that we're going to go out in the last 16, but that's just what I feel from the football I've seen Liverpool serve up this year.
But you have to remember, although we've been shit in the league, but doing very good in the Champions League.
Yeah, but like I've just stated to handicap in the corner, deck. We're playing with 9 men every game because Gakpo and Salah are non-existent.
We played we played with 9 men against Real Madrid. See how that went.
Yeah, but if my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle.
But
yeah,
she
but we
doesn't,
played with 9
so
men.
she's not.
That's a fact. We played with 9 men. That's a fact. We destroyed them. That's a fact.
I mean, the amount of people I've seen on social media saying that number 7's coming home, they're all delusional. I'm sorry, but you've got to put some reality on Liverpool's season, and nobody is at the minute, and I don't know why.
We are.
No, you're not. You're saying we're going to get to whatever. Ben's got us getting to the final.
Yeah, but that's the young hoodlum over there. But the other ones here who has, lived a couple of years. I mean, me and Deck, we've said we're only going to get past Galatasaray. We haven't said we're going to win it.
Yeah, I think Craig. If we play PSG next after Galatasaray, I think we'd be very, very, very lucky. If we get past Paris Saint-Germain, we've got a real chance to go and win the Champions League. But I think this round of 16 against Galatasaray means nothing, because if you go out now, then you go out now. It is what it is.
Well, the thing is as well, when I saw the draw and it came out, and I looked at Liverpool's route to Budapest 2026, as it's called, all it did was seal one thing for me. That draw this morning sealed Ernie Slott's fate.
Do you think he's got in the summer?
We're not winning the European Cup. We're not going to finish in the top 5. So basically, he's out of a job.
But what are your predictions when it goes further than Aldo?
For who?
So for Liverpool.
But what are your quarterfinals, semi-finals, and winner?
Right. My quarterfinals, I've got PSG versus Galatasaray. I've got Man City versus Bayern Munich, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Bodo Glimt versus Arsenal. My semi-finals are PSG versus Man City, Barcelona versus Arsenal, and my final is PSG v Barcelona, and PSG winning it. So they retain the trophy they won last year.
It's not bad. It's not bad, Craig. It's not bad apart from Liverpool not being in it, but that's not a bad shout, to be fair, mate.
And the thing is as well, just before I move on to it, because obviously we've got a game tomorrow and I want to touch on that now.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to the round of 16 and see how it all pans out. And I'm going to, obviously, Liverpool have got an early kick-off as well on the Galatasaray game at 6:45 kick-off on the 10th. And then we've got a 9 o'clock kick-off on the return, Central European time, these. So we've got an early one and then a normal 8 o'clock kick-off when they come back to our place. So, yes.
I need to address this PSG talk because we're talking about PSG like it's the same informed team from last year. Did you not watch them against Monaco? They needed 2 scruffy red cards and Wout fast miss from 6 yards to get through. This is not the same team.
But they were like that last year as well in the league. They were not very good in the league as well.
Last year they demolished Brest in the same games. They demolished Brest.
Yeah,
Yes.
but look at Real Madrid in the Champions League this year. They've not been brilliant either, but they always come good at the knockout stages.
Exactly.
Yes, Real Madrid, the kings of Europe. They've earned that title. PSG need to do more than one good season to earn that title of being able to come out of the blue and turn on the afterburners in January.
But they're playing a Chelsea team, like you said, having a Mr. Nice Guy as a manager. Why wouldn't they win that game?
Chelsea get the best match. Chelsea is the best matchup for PSG on this bracket.
Yeah, but the point is that they win that match, and if they play us or Galatasaray, that's also a fairly even game. At least if they play us, so there is no logical reason why they don't have the possibility to be in the semifinals.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying people are talking about them like it's a guarantee. Crazy. Yeah. It's not a guarantee. PSG could definitely go out to Chelsea. We saw in the Club World Cup that Chelsea absolutely battered PSG.
But this is football. Yeah, no guarantee. Look at Bodø Glimt.
Yeah, I mean there are no guarantees, but I mean all I'm saying is, right, my two favourites to win the Champions League this season were PSG and Bayern Munich. Right, before the ball was kicked. Right, now there's as much chances of Bayer Leverkusen beating Arsenal as PSG losing to Chelsea. You make your own luck in knockout football. The thing, Luis Enrique is no mug. And if anybody's writing PSG off, fair play to you. And also what I will say is, yeah, we've got Galatasaray, but don't take this team lightly. Galatasaray are a dangerous opponent.
But we've learned that now. But here's the thing. How weird would that be if Vince and company wins the Champions League with Bayern Munich after being relegated with Burnley? I mean, come on. I mean,
look, we could go around in circles all day about this.
You're forgetting one thing, Alred. Vincent Kompany has got one of the best strikers in world football playing for him.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's a scenic change, isn't it? You're going from relegation with Burnley.
Yeah. Okay. So if you want a sliding doors thing, I'll give you another example why we're not going to do anything. We spent what?
456 million.
We spent an absolute fortune. We spent 130 million on Alexander Isak and 116 million on Florian Wirtz. Now, Florian Wirtz won't play again this season. He's done. Because whatever he's done to his back, he ain't kicking a ball again for Liverpool this season. And Isak's not going to be playing until next year. Not the Isak that we all know anyhow. So the money we've spent there, 46 million. Yeah. Well, there you go.
What do you think his seasons is over onwards?
Well,
I mean, he's been out 1 week.
He's got a back injury,
and you write him off. Yeah,
he's got a back injury, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, and Arne Slot can't give you a date when he's going to come back.
No, but there's a difference between being out 1 week with a back injury and writing the rest of the season off. That's a huge gap there, brother.
It must be something serious because he was warming up for the game at Forest, and then suddenly, bang, he's done.
Yeah, so but what's the point? Warming up.
Nobody's come out and said what happened.
No, but it's not like he got tackled and broke his leg in 4 places.
But when your back goes, it's never the same again.
But I mean, how many players have we had playing with backs? I mean, Peter Crouch had a bad back for all his career.
Well, would you know that 6'7"?
Yeah, but the point is, he had a bad back, didn't he? Les Ferdinand had a bad back. Everybody had a bad back. But let's get on to the game tomorrow.
Anyway, before we move on, hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell. Follow my mate Ben the Red G, as I've nicknamed him. Ben the Red G, Alred the Viking, yep, and Deck, who's missing his partner Ant. I don't know where he is, but he may be in the jungle somewhere. But get on the final whistle because it's well worth a watch, particularly sat in the garden. It's wonderful, right? And then, as regards myself, you can do whatever the feck you want, right? But moving on to the game tomorrow, West Ham United. I'm going to keep my powder dry on this. I'm going to start with Ben. What's your thoughts on the game tomorrow, Ben, and what you're expecting, and what do you think the outcome will be?
Well, I think it'll be a fight. West Ham have a big season ahead of them now. They've got how many games left? 11.
11.
They've got 11 finals going, and they've got some good
So do we.
Yeah, so do we. But these Prem games mean more to West Ham than they do to us. No, we've got other things we can focus on. Whereas West Ham, they need to stay alive in the Premier League, and they've got players that can cause problems. One in particular I want at Liverpool, Mateus Fernandes.
Yeah.
I still think we'll win, but Nuno definitely ain't going to make it life easy. And God forbid Sobo being right back tomorrow night. Tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully it's hopefully Frimpong can start, or maybe Gomez.
Have you got a score prediction, or do you think
3-1.
it's going to be close?
3-1 Liverpool. But
3-1.
I think West Ham score first.
Alred, your thoughts?
If Dominic Szoboszlai is right back tomorrow again, I'm going to go with my rowboat. I'm going to paddle over, land in Newcastle, walk over, and hit that ball fraud in the head with something hard. I mean, I'm tired of seeing him at the right back. I'm sorry. Now that
Slot, not me.
I'm talking about Slot, yeah. But now that Wirtz is out of the question, I think Dominic is going to play in the midfield. I hope if my heart could select, I would like to see Gomez, Cinderella on right back, and I would like to see Frimpong on the right wing. Now, we both know that's not going to happen, but I would like to see that. And I would also like to see Rio starting on the left wing, because if you can't start these home games so late in the season after doing so well when you've come on, and try and take the place of a player who's sucked the big orange for 3 months or 4 months or whatever it is, I don't know what it is. But as I said, I would like to see Frimpong and Gomez on the right side. I think it's going to be Ali, Konate, Kirkes, and Van Dijk. I think the midfield is going to be not Robo, but Dominic and Maka and Gravenberg. And it is going to be Gakpo, Hugo, and Salah as usual. But yeah. And I think we're going to win.
Yeah, I know you don't do score predictions. Okay, Dak. Okay, Dak. Over to you. The floor's yours, mate. Give me your thoughts on the game tomorrow. Because you're going to be there. So, what lineup are you expecting?
First of all, I agree with Ben. I think West Ham have got 11 finals in front of them. So I don't think they're going to get walked all over. But you are right. I'm going to be at the game tomorrow. I'm sat in the Cop 107. I'm at tomorrow. So I'm a little bit further back than my usual spot in 103. But it'll still be a good seat. I think Liverpool are going to win 2-1. I think, unfortunately, we will concede. I expect Liverpool to concede now. It's quite ironic because we have kept a few clean sheets in recent games. Sunderland, it was a clean sheet. I think we kept a clean sheet against Brighton the game before that. So, but I just think, in the Premier League, we just haven't been consistent. I said in one of my recent videos, we've been the most inconsistent side. If that makes sense, we are inconsistent, unfortunately. So I think it'll be 2-1 to Liverpool. I just think we will concede. Starting 11, if we're going to jump straight into that, Craig. I think Ali is in goal. I don't want to see Dominic Szoboszlai at right back. I think it's going to be Joe Gomez. I think it's going to be Konate, Van Dijk, and Milos Kerkez. In the midfield, I think we're going to see a Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, just because of what's happened with Florian Wirtz. I think if Florian Wirtz was fit and well, he would start Szoboszlai at right back and play Wirtz in the 10. And I think as much as we want to see a Rio Ingemobber on the left or on the, up somewhere in that second line, starting the game, I don't think that's going to happen. I think, as Slot has said recently, I think it was in his press conference today, about Cody Gakpo, he basically just said, sometimes these players, these world-class players need a rest, and he almost referred to Cody Gakpo as if he'd been firing on all cylinders, and I didn't really like that too much, because obviously he was asked about Florian Wirtz, and then about Gakpo, about Salah and stuff like that, and he said he brought Salah off because he weren't doing the best after however many minutes it was when he come off. And Gakpo come off because these players need a rest, etc. So I just think it will be Gakpo on that left hand side. Slot seems to think that he's the best thing since sliced bread. Down the middle, I think it'll be no one else but Hugo Ekitike, and then on the right, it's going to be again Mo Salah. He's a club legend. I love the man. I wouldn't ever change Mo Salah in any way. Everything that he's done for the club has been exceptional, but everyone comes to the end of the career, and I think Mo Salah goes in the summer. I think he give it his all last season, but I do think that he starts this game. Like I said, Chiesa would be nice. Rio Ingemobber would be nice, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So, Gakpo, Hugo Ekitike, and a Mohamed Salah on the right hand side.
Have you got a score prediction?
Yeah, like I said, 2-1. Like I said, I think we will concede, unfortunately. As much as we have kept a couple of clean sheets, I just think we're so inconsistent at the moment. We're unpredictable. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. And like I said, hopefully it won't be an absolute snooze fest like the Forest game, which we went ahead and won somehow. But I hope we put on a good show. Like I said, I'm in the club tomorrow. I'm actually quite glad that it's at 3:00 because, as you all know, guys,
Yes, I know.
the game beforehand, I think was it Brighton? Was it Brighton?
Brighton.
8:00 kickoffs. You can't get home from the ground. It's an absolute nightmare. So luckily, it's in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday. So I think there should be many ways I can make it back. Let's say that.
My biggest concern for tomorrow is. And I'm not going to take West Ham lightly here because I think their manager doesn't get the credit he should get, Nuno Espirito Santo. And there's also, besides the player that Ben mentioned, there's also two other players who I think have turned the corner for West Ham in Gerard Bowen and Mr. Somerville, who I think is absolute quality. I was absolutely gobsmacked that Leeds United let him go, to be honest with you.
Would you have Bowen at Liverpool?
Not now. He's too old.
No, I actually would. If Salah leaves, get him in as like a backup right winger.
Not now. He's too old. I think his best days are behind him. But I don't think he'll be at West Ham next year, to be fair. But he won't be at Liverpool for me.
How old is he?
I think he's 29.
29. I think he's 30 this year.
Yeah,
if West Ham got relegated,
and the thing is, I've said all season that West Ham are going down, but I've changed my opinion now, and I had a discussion with my friend about it today, and he's not having any of it. But this is for another. I mean, I'd love to do a
stream. We could talk all night, couldn't we, guys?
I'd love to do a stream on the bottom half of the table. But the thing is, the game tomorrow for me, my concern is the bench is absolutely weak as it could be. Ernie Slot doesn't trust the people he has on the bench already.
Train Ione, for example.
He had two goalkeepers on the bench last time out. Also, Mamardashvili's come out today and said he's not happy with the game time he's getting at Liverpool and he's looking for a loan move in the summer. He's not happy at playing second fiddle to Alisson Becker. Now, I agree with Mamardashvili there. Becker, yeah, he's a liability in some cases. And for me, the reason I don't think this is going to be easy tomorrow is because when you watch Liverpool in Europe and you watch us in the Premier League, you're watching two different teams. And I think the players have decided that in the Champions League, they're going to give it everything. But in the league, they're down tools. And the example of that for me was the first half performance at Nottingham Forest. McAllister had an absolute stinker. So we were playing with 8 men because Gakpo didn't do anything. Salah didn't do anything. Maka had a stinker. But the worrying thing is, with no Florian Wirtz, and if Szoboszlai starts at right back, then
Who's in your midfield then, Craig? If Szoboszlai's starting at right back?
If Szobo starts at right back, you might as well put me in an induced coma, because it's awful to fucking watch, because you're wasting a player there. West Ham are not going to make this easy by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
Because the thing is, they can smell blood now, and Tottenham Hotspur in free fall for sure. But Liverpool, I think.
Do you think Spurs are getting relegated?
I think Spurs will go down. Yes, I really do, because, and I'll give you my opinions on that on another stream. But I think Liverpool tomorrow is going to be usual suspect in goal. Alisson Becker, left back Kirkes, and then Ibu Konate, who's found his feet again and found himself.
Yeah.
Alongside the stuttering Rolls Royce, Virgil van Dijk. And then at right back, I play Joe Gomez there if he's fit. If not, I put no past Jones there.
Is there any show for Jeremy Frimpong at right back, guys?
If he didn't just come back from injury, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
also, Greg, you mentioned McAllister having a stinker at Forest.
Yeah.
People aren't going to like this, but and I've been saying this for a long time, that is McAllister's level against teams that will press us, against teams that will cause us problems in the midfield. McAllister absolutely cannot handle intensity. He never has been able to.
He did. He had a stinker. The other thing he did right was score the winner. And then obviously you're going to have eight on the left, Cody Gakpo. You're going to have Maka, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai in the middle. You're going to have Mr. Invisible on the right hand side, the invisible man, Mo Salah. You don't see him for 75 minutes, and then he gets dragged off and starts laughing, which is an absolute disgrace.
By the way, I want to. Before we go, I want to deflame anyone who thinks that was a disgrace. He was laughing at the Forest fans who were calling him out. By the way,
the thing is as well, and I said this afternoon. I said this afternoon to me mate, and he agreed. And I said, well, when Mo Salah signed that new contract, 5 seconds later he downed tools. He got what he wanted. He got the fat paycheck. Salah was done at Liverpool. He got what he wanted, the new contract, and he's done. And he's been done for the last 18 months. But Liverpool fans won't have it. They keep going about what he's done in the past. Yeah, the past is the past. Your eyes were put in your head for looking forwards, not backwards. That's why you don't look into anything.
And I know you're probably sick of hearing this, but people go at you because you say he's been done for the last 18 months. That includes the season where he literally could have been the Ballon d'Or winner had a few things gone our way.
He was never going to win the Ballon d'Or. He wasn't in the top 20.
Yeah, but keep it on the game tomorrow now instead of talking about Ballon d'Or.
Oh, where's he gone?
Oh, I'll let him in again.
Yeah, there he is.
No, I said let's keep it on the game tomorrow and not
so Salah on the right, Craig, and then
Salah on the right, and then up front, the guy who can't head the ball to save his life, Etatike. He just can't. I mean, at his feet, he's fantastic, but.
And then on the left, Craig, on the left,
Ben's mate, Cody Gakpo. I'd like to see Rio start, but it's not going to happen. I really would, because if you're young enough, you're good enough. It didn't do Michael Owen and Steven Gerrard any harm at 17, 18, did it? So I think it's going to be tight, and I think we'll pinch it 2-1.
I said 2-1. There you go. There you go.
Because we're 3 points behind Man United, and we're level on points with Chelsea, because I think Chelsea will beat Arsenal at the weekend. And that's my thoughts on the game.
There you go, Craig. There you go.
Yeah. My biggest concern tomorrow is that okay.
Yeah, but it's at least we all agree that we're going to win this one.
Yeah, there you go.
We've got 11 finals left. If if you look at our fixtures, which do you think's the hardest one we've got left?
United away.
We have to take that on another stream.
Another
Craig.
stream, yeah.
Yeah.
So the lads want to go to bed or do whatever they're doing. So from me, although from the voice of treason in the top left-hand corner, Alred, and from Captain Sensible on the right deck, and then from Ben, who basically adds a bit of reality to everything and just keeps shooting me down because I'm having a pop at Mo Salah. That's it from us for this one. We will see you on the next one, which will be probably Wednesday evening or whenever you guys are available. And I can't wait for what you're going to talk about. But anyhow, I've enjoyed it. I think your input's been brilliant. You're all legends to me.
Cheers, Craig. Thanks a lot for that, mate.
Thank you very much. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys. See you
Take care,
later.
Thank you.
Ta-ra, lads. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra, lads.